Let's start with some motivation and go through the benefits of the aesthetic body, the ones that I have personally found. The first one that I want to talk about is self-esteem and positivity. I wasn't exactly a positive kid. In high school, at the start of college, I was pretty just a negative guy. I was playing video games. I was one of those guys who jump and shout at the video game and everything. When I started weightlifting, it put me in a progress mindset because it showed me that progress is real, and that makes you positive straight away. So I specifically remember times, and you're going to experience this too, when I would get a bad grade and I'm feeling bad about it, my parents are going to beat me and everything, but then straight away I'm thinking, oh, but I'll get my 10 out of 10 body at some point. I've got a crush on a girl, and I just build up the courage after fucking weeks of thinking about her, of cuddling my pillow about thinking about her. I'll go up to her, she rejects me. It's alright, I'm going to have my 10 out of 10 body soon. So for me at least, and I hope that I'm going to drill this into you, training in the gym, building this physique, gave me like an anchor to stay positive and to know that I had something good coming. As long as I just didn't quit, I would have that 10 out of 10. I want you to get this mindset right now. As long as you don't quit for the rest of your life, as long as you don't quit being somewhat into nutrition, eating healthy, and being into resistance training, you will build your 10 out of 10 body. Unless your 10 out of 10 body is unnatural and you need steroids, but it's very unlikely that it is. It's likely that the body that you want, like the pictures I showed, you can achieve naturally. Fastest case scenario, about 4 years, average about 6 to 8. And so we're going to aim for 4, knowing that you're still going to make some mistakes and you'll get here about 4.5, 5 years. Another part of the positivity is that you gain self-love for yourself. Think about it. Younger Hamza has put in the work for 6 years, 9 months. I love myself like so much. When I see my body in the mirror and I'm at my goal physique, I'm going to smile. I'm going to feel so proud of myself, and I'm going to feel so happy and grateful for younger Hamza for delaying gratification for my sake. And this is the exact opposite for most average people who have a body that they despise, that they're insecure about. They hate themselves because their younger selves from yesterday ate the junk food. Your younger self from yesterday is going to delay gratification. He's going to hit the workout up until his muscles burn and he's in pain for your benefit. And then he's going to do this for a year, for 5 years. And when you reach your dream body, all you can do is just look back and just feel so proud of yourself. The second benefit of building the aesthetic body is the mental and physical health. So physical health is simple. You are going to be exercising, you're going to be getting into nutrition, so your physical health is going to get better, you're going to get stronger, and over some time as well, we are going to get you into stretching and mobility and recovery. So in your physical health, it's naturally going to improve. But mental health is actually an interesting point. I did my university dissertation on resistance training, so like weightlifting, and its effects on mental health. And in general, the people who are consistent in resistance training have less than half of the depressive and anxious symptoms that normal people do. Normal people will still class as people who do some cardio. This is obviously for a couple of different reasons. It's what we just linked to, that resistance training specifically builds a lot more self-love than just cardio does, because cardio doesn't make you look good. Most people think, oh, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to start running and stuff, I'm going to lose some weight. Even when you lose weight, you still look like shit if you don't have muscle, quite frankly. And it's muscle, it's specifically muscle, and also muscle built in the right areas, in the aesthetic areas that we said, the V-taper. That's what's going to really improve your mental health, because it does give you a huge sense of fulfillment in our modern world where physical attractiveness is very important. Your mental health also improves because of the fact that your social and sexual sides to your life get opened up because of the aesthetic body, and we'll be going through obviously the benefit in terms of your social and sexual life soon. Another benefit of the aesthetic body is that it builds your mental strength and your resilience and your discipline. If there's one thing that has helped me in self-improvement the most, it's that I got consistent in my body transformation. You have to do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. In self-improvement, that is like my mantra, that's my ritual. I've been saying this to you, hopefully you've been following it and you've been thinking, yeah, he's absolutely right. If I don't do the hard work when I don't feel like it, I'll almost never do the hard work. And how I got that statement of do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it, is from the gym. I remember even in the height of my depression, even at the height of my anxiety, my binge eating and the worst periods of my life, I would still get my clothes ready. I'd still in my mind be like, I can't be arsed, I don't want to go. But I'd just tell myself, like, it doesn't matter. You have to go when you don't feel like it. Otherwise, you are going to miss too many sessions. So for years, my my discipline, my willpower, my mental strength has been getting leveled up. And the same is going to happen to you, because this is a hard pursuit. This is literally something that's tricky. 95% of people will never get consistent in resistance training. 95% of people, by getting consistent, you're already better than the vast majority of people, because it's tough. It is very difficult to go in, day out, and get a pump till your muscles hurt, come out, recover, and do the same thing even the next time you're still sore, but you're still going to hit it. All of this whilst your lizard brain is piping up and trying to convince you in a very rational way to skip today's workout, because it's never, the thoughts in your mind are never skip today's workout because you're a pussy. That's never what you think. It's skip today's workout because we've got this piece of work instead. Skip today's workout because you're sore. Skip today's workout because this and this and this. It's always something that's nice, logical, and rational. When you've built a body like this, you get into the habit of disobeying the lizard brain. That's willpower. That's one of the best things that you could do for your life. There's a reason why a high percentage of successful men are muscular. Not always. You can definitely see rich people who are fat and stuff, but especially for the guys who are not just successful, but who are getting successful. So let's say not just the 1%, but the guys who are 10% coming down to the best top 1%. They're usually the guys who are also working out 5, 6, 7 times a week, because it all compounds together. Aesthetics and entrepreneurship couple together. Aesthetics and self-improvement couple together. By getting onto this pursuit with your body transformation, the rest of your self-improvement is going to benefit. It's going to be much, much easier. You learn things about yourself, but better than that, the body transformation gives you a physical indicator of delaying gratification. Of all the mindsets that I teach, the important mindsets of self-improvement, the body transformation is the one that is physically shown to yourself and to the world, that every single time you see yourself in the mirror, you're reminded with how much gratification you've delayed. So it overlaps and it compounds together. An awesome benefit of building your aesthetic body is that it's a delayed gratification activity that's fulfilling. So I've been convincing you to get onto a dopamine detox, to reduce the instant gratification activities like Netflix, YouTube, fapping, video games, and to do more delayed gratification activities. The reason why you do the bad habits is simply because you don't do enough good habits. And so here is now a solid 1 to 2 hours of your day taken up for something that's worth it. That is seriously so good. Here is 1 to 2 hours of your day where you're not fapping. 1 to 2 hours of your day where you're not playing video games, where you're too busy because it takes about 2 hours, let's say, to get up from your computer chair, brush your teeth, change your clothes, go to the gym, hit the workout, come back to the gym, change your clothes, shower. About 2 hours. 2 hours of your day has now been taken away from the grasp of instant gratification. And there's so much to learn. The purpose of this course was that you didn't have to go and get overwhelmed by the knowledge online, and that's awesome, that is the purpose. But you're going to find naturally as you go about this pursuit over the next months and years, you are actually going to be desiring to learn more. You'll want to learn more. And that's the best case scenario, is that not only are you making fantastic progress, you didn't get overwhelmed at the start, you just took action. Eventually you're going to have an interest in this stuff, and you're actually going to want to learn the muscle anatomies and the nutritional research. So that's going to take up time too. Because this is such a fulfilling delayed gratification hobby, it often replaces the instant gratification. If you've ever watched the body transformation videos on YouTube, it's always the same story. I used to play video games, I was a loser, I started lifting weights, and now girls make eye contact with me. It's always the same story. It was the same thing for me. I was playing Minecraft and RuneScape and League of Legends every single day, solid hours on them, and then also watching a bunch of hours on YouTube, and then also scrolling on Reddit for 3, 4, 5 hours per day. 2 hours of that instantly gets taken up. Now, I wasn't cured. I was still doing those bad habits, but 2 hours of my day was now actually being spent productively. Now let's move on to the benefits that you've came here for. I left these till last, so hopefully you'd watch all of it. So the first one is the halo effect. The halo effect, the halo that angels have, is that attractive people are better. That's what it means. The more attractive you are, the better everything in your life will be. People will treat you better. You'll get better service in restaurants, you'll get better treatments in hospitals, you'll make more money. Just imagine, the more attractive you are, the better your life is. There's studies. I will link one. I usually don't ever link studies, but this one's not exactly a study. It's more just an article from Simply Psychology. I'll link it below. If you're a student, you're more likely to get better grades if you're muscular and attractive. If you work in a service-based industry, if you're just entering your career and your current, not even your career, but if you've just got shitty jobs and you're a waitress or a waiter or you're doing anything in service-based, you're more likely to get tips if you're attractive. In terms of entrepreneurship in business, my business is, honestly, most of my success has come from my body. The reason why you've clicked on my videos was probably because I had pictures of my body as the thumbnail. Could I be teaching you all of the discipline stuff, the willpower stuff, if I looked like a pussy? Because that's what a lot of the, to be fair, a lot of the guys in self-improvement, if you search for self-improvement and the big guys come up, a lot of them do look like pussies. Like none of them exactly look like someone who should be teaching self-improvement, and they're still successful. But I certainly have an advantage right now because I can post a picture of my body as the thumbnail and get double the average click-through rates, which means the percentage of people who click on my video, it's roughly double than what the big YouTubers get, because I look good, because I've got abs, because I've got V-line, because I've got bicep veins. You're more likely to click on my videos and you're more likely to listen to me. You bought this course specifically because I probably have close to your dream body. You're still watching me, you've listened to every word that I said because you respect me, because of my physical indicator of success and discipline. I can't stress this enough, that physical attractiveness is everything in this world. Now, of course, we want to level up mindfulness and gratitude and get purpose and fulfillment. But in the modern world, in the real life around you, people will judge you immediately. I believe the science is that it's not even 1 or 2 seconds where someone's judgment of you is instant. It's within a second they'll judge you and they'll characterize you as a winner or a loser, a beta or an alpha. The one thing that they're judging when they do that, it's not your personality, it's not your story, it's not whether you're a nice guy or anything, it's just, does he look strong? Does he look like he could hurt a man? And with this body, you do. Part of the halo effect that I want to dive a little bit deep into is a mindset that I've had, a belief that I've had, that being successful in terms of making money is somewhat pointless without aesthetics. Because I see guys who are entrepreneurs and I see guys who are successful, and it seems pointless to build a level of success when you're not attractive, because people will only respect your bank account at that point. If you're rich, women will sleep with you, of course they will. But they're not sleeping with you, they're sleeping with the numbers in your bank account. When you're muscular, women are sleeping with you for you, because you probably don't have any numbers in your bank account anyway. They're lusting entirely for you. I speak to a lot of guys who are hard workers, who come onto my coaching program. They wanted to cure the addictions, they wanted to start working hard and get into like the high performance stuff, wake up early and do a lot of work. And they often neglect this side of attractiveness, and they'll go about it the harder way, which is to build the money first, and then they'll say, okay, afterwards I will look good. It's got to be the other way around, because building money, building success is far easier when you're already attractive. Now, some research is uneven on this, but that's specifically with women's attractiveness. With men, being muscular is always beneficial. Essentially zero real detriments to building your muscular physique. Now, of course, someone's going to say, oh, but big bodybuilders could... We're not talking about big bodybuilders, are we? We're talking about you without taking steroids. Your rate of muscle growth, quite frankly, is going to be pathetic. Like, in the grand scheme of things, first year, you're going to gain 10 pounds. And we're going to be so impressed by that, because that's fucking loads as a natural. But it's not... You're never going to be too big, right? So as you go through your body transformation, it's pretty much only going to be positives to your business and to all of your other parts of life. Let's talk about probably the most interesting benefit that you've probably wanted to hear, is attracting women. So put it this way, there is blue pill, or there is fat person propaganda that the muscly body isn't as attractive as we think it is, and it's obviously not true. You will never find a women's erotica, like women's like sexual porn or magazines or books like 50 Shades of Grey, where they're lusting over a fat guy. No woman wakes up and says, oh gee whiz, I sure hope a fat guy fucks me tonight. It is not a desire of theirs whatsoever. They settle for guys who are skinny or fat or average, but they lust for guys who are in the top X percent. Some people say it's 1%, 5%, 10%, 20%, whatever it is. They want the alpha male. We're going to use those terms here, and I dislike when guys say, oh, don't use the term alpha male or beta male. Shut up, bro. Because we all understand what alpha male means. We all understand what beta male means. Women want to be with the alpha male, not just for casual sex, but in a relationship, it's even 10 times more important. You have to be considered as her alpha, that the best she could ever get. Otherwise, your relationship is at stake, because if there is better than you, she is going to branch swing to that guy as long as he wants to keep her around. When you build your body, you become, like, I know it's obvious, like, you become the type of guy that women lust over, and me just saying that in those few words doesn't do it justice. So I'm gonna have to kind of get into some detail, like PG-18 detail. So if your parents are listening, you might want to skip this step. One of the best, easiest ways I can describe the change in how women treat you is that you become the type of guy who gets his dick sucked. When I speak to a bunch of girls, they usually say the same thing, where they say, I don't really do this. I was with my ex-boyfriend for multiple years, and I only sucked his dick maybe 20 times, 30 times in years. And whereas they're doing it for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, every single time we meet. I've become the type of guy who gets blowjobs from women. I'm not trying to be fucking boasting or anything, but when you build this body and you look like this, you give off a certain type of vibe, and that vibe is that I'm the alpha male and women will submit to me. Yeah, I sound like a dumbass when I say this shit, but you probably, because there's probably going to be 10 people watching this and you're all my boys, so I can speak unfiltered. This would obviously offend even women as well. They say, oh no, looks on, like they'll be fucking lying and shit, like looks on that important, like personality. Shut up, bro. And you guys as well, like, oh no, he's talking about alpha males, he's cringing, shut up. So I was still going to give you some more real examples. Let me tell you about my experience in university, where it's very cutthroat. In very hypersexual environments like university, nightclubs, parties, women will look you down, up and down, to see if you're fuckworthy. And when you look like this, immediately you're put into that box, and you'll see straight away when women look at you like this, it's like they're warmed up to you. Half the work is already done. Like, she's eye fucking me now, she's speaking to me, she's like proper looking. All I have to do is just not step on my own dick, not say something stupid, and she's mine. This doesn't happen to a guy that when she does this, she's not impressed with. Now, of course, his style, his fashion could be nice, but it doesn't matter. That's an overcompensation anyway. I wear plain t-shirts. I don't spend extra money on expensive stuff because I don't need to. I'm going to seem big-headed with all the shit, but I'm just telling you my life experience. When you look like this, when you have a body like this, you don't need to do that stuff. You don't need a fancy car anymore, because girls will happily sleep with a broke guy who they lust over. And girls lust over this. They see excitement from a guy who's rich because it gets them more likes on Instagram, but at the same time they also see excitement from a guy who's jacked because, again, it gets them more likes on Instagram. But this is more of a primal feeling. The attraction from women is one of the biggest benefits, and hopefully you're not one of the people who discredits that and says, oh me no care, me no do this for women, like, oh, I'm doing this for myself, because you would be lying if you said that. I see a lot of posts from guys say this, oh, I'm doing this for myself. But the thing is, you want to do it for yourself, and perhaps you're doing it, for your own benefit, of course. But doing it for yourself, for your benefit, involves the benefit of getting relationships, which is one of the most important parts of life. So although this is for our benefit, the reason why it's our benefit is because it gets us women. Whether you want to have casual sex with them or whether you want long-term relationships, a good partnership with a woman is probably the most fulfilling thing you'll have. And I'm not supposed to say that because in Red Pill it's supposed to be on a purpose, and purpose is fulfilling. But the thing is, the reason why the idea of purpose being so fulfilling, and you've got to get on your purpose, is because our purpose is women. Our purpose is fathering a child. Now we don't exactly have that, so that's why the Red Pill posts and the guys and me especially are telling you, okay, find your own purpose, do something else. But in general, our natural genetic purpose is to father children, and hopefully to do that with a good mother, or to be the ultra alpha male who does it with 100 mothers. And if that's your goal, if you want to impregnate a lot of people, then the body's going to help with that. So on the Red Pill especially, you've seen the term SMV, sexual market value. Sexual market values is the term of how much you are worth to the opposite sex. So women's SMV comes from pretty much just how attractive they are and how fertile they are. That's, as men, that's pretty much all we care about in the sexual market area. But in the sexual marketplace, in terms of for men, our value does come in from many different things, but the most important is looks. Anyone who tells you different, anyone says, oh no, it's actually game and this is my course and my program to go cold approach even if you're ugly, it's bullshit. It is attractiveness that's the most important thing, because let's put it into real examples and real statistics. You want success with women, whether you want to sleep with lots of girls, lots of damaged girls, or you want to have relationships, or you want to do friends with benefits, or whatever you want, right? You are going to be so much more effective, but more importantly, efficient at it with a body, because it is the physical attractiveness of the body that allows you to benefit from things like online dating. The majority of guys should never even consider online dating in terms of social media, pulling like social media dating and dating apps, because they're too ugly for it. I'm gonna hurt your ego. You're probably too ugly for the dating apps just yet, because facially, I'm gonna be honest, I'm too ugly for the dating apps, but the one redeeming factor is that I have a fucking sick body. And so when I post pictures of my body, I get like 30 matches a day, and women's like lust instantly kicks up, and they're messaging me first, they're messaging me slutty stuff. And I set my standards quite high in the sense that I'll still sleep with the girls, but like they'll travel to me. They'll come pick me up in their car. I'll literally be doing my work. They'll text me when they're outside. I'll show up 15 minutes late. They'll pick me up. We'll go to somewhere quiet, do the deed, and then they'll drop me back home, because I can command that much investment from them. Because when they're swiping, the majority of guys that they're swiping through are average. They've got shitty selfie pictures, shitty pictures of them like just in the mirror or something. They're nothing special. The reason why I get to enjoy this life and I get to see this side of the life is literally just because of the body. I wasn't supposed to see this life. I wasn't supposed to benefit from this, but the one reason why I'm here is because of the body, because the body has created a huge sexual desire in women and a huge respect in men. And that's why I'm invited to the social and sexual sides to life that the majority of men will never see. And I hope that with this pursuit that you're in and you've invested into this, you've spent like $100 or maybe even $200 on this course, that we're going to open up this side of the life to you. And you're going to just realize all of the shit you got told about women is fucking, like, they're degenerates, bro. They are as sexually obsessed as we are. It's just that most men never see it because most men are too ugly to see it. When you build the aesthetic body and you get the huge level of attraction, the veil gets pulled off and you realize that women are literally as disgustingly slutty and sex obsessed as men, and women will do the exact same thing that men are criticized for. Women cheat, bro. Half of my number count, I've always said this, roughly half of my number count is girls with relationships, because what I said before, I'm the type of guy who gets his dick sucked. I'm also the type of guy who a girl goes to cheat on her boyfriend. Because just put it in your mind right now, what type of guy would she go to? She's got a boyfriend right now. It's not amazing, but you know, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, and she's went on a girls' night. What type of guy is she hoping to meet? Again, the alpha male. She's hoping to meet the guy who is like the dream one night stand. But she's not thinking about personality. She doesn't care about your story. She doesn't care about the charity work that you've done or the purpose that you have or anything. She just wants to be with someone who is incredibly masculine, who can make her feel incredibly feminine. And the biggest sort of masculine trait, if there is one, is a muscular, strong-looking body. That's all there is. And that's good for us because that's what we have 100% control over. That was fantastic with girls. Even when I had a baby face, even when I didn't have as much confidence, I didn't have as much game, I didn't have as much outcome independence, I didn't have a purpose, anything, it didn't matter because I looked pretty good. I had bicep veins, I had a little bit of a jawline because I was lean. It was more than enough. So by following this pursuit and building your aesthetic body and taking it full time, by the way, you bought this course because we're not fucking half-assing this stuff. We're not like slightly going to do this stuff. We're going to take this serious, right? Your goal is to build that 10 out of 10 physique. We're not going to accept any less than that. Now, we're not going to rush you there, but we're going to try and get there as fast as possible. We're going to have this mindset that you are going to hit this 10 out of 10 physique at some point. As long as you don't quit, as long as you keep leveling up, and eventually it's going to be fucking difficult. Eventually you're going to have to do 1.5 hour workouts 5-6 times a week. Eventually, right? Not right now. But when you build that, then you are straight away inserted into the top 1% of guys, top 5%, let's say. There's your instant pre-selector to get women. There's your way right now for you to guarantee your future self doesn't have to think about, oh gosh, if I only I could get some bitches, bro. You don't have to. My younger self, delayed gratification. He chased the pump for 1,000 workouts, and now I'm fine not being on dating apps. I'm fine. I've been on monk mode for the last few weeks. I haven't spoken to any girls because I don't need to anymore. I have like a god level of abundance because I've been with enough, and I've had enough attraction from women and plus my body's still growing and everything, that I know that when I do get back out into the dating market after I'm done with some things with my business, I'm going to clear up like I always do. Finally, we'll go through this quick because my camera's about to die, so I need to recharge it. Respect from men is the final benefit. So you're watching this, you probably have gotten somewhat picked on and bullied slightly in high school and college. People laughed at you, made fun of you. Honestly, it doesn't happen once you've built a good body. It will absolutely keep happening for a while. There's a transition period where you're going to think that you're massive now because you started working out and you've literally got the smallest amount of muscle, but people are still going to treat you like shit because they can't really see it yet. But after a transition period of let's say about 2 years max, you almost straight away you go to the point where no one's going to pick on you. You may get guys who start on you, who out of insecurity, out of aggressiveness, hostility, whatever, they'll see you as more of a threat. But in general, you'll never get bullied again, which is fucking awesome. You'll have different problems to worry about, but you'll never be feeling like that loser who gets picked on by his co-workers or his friends. You'll get far more respect from men because of the way that you carry yourself, because of the way you talk to yourself. Old guys, for example, when I'm running and I'm looking good, old guys will talk to me and they'll say like, they'll do this and they'll smile at me and they'll give me like the nod of respect and appreciation, because we as men especially, we know what it takes to look like this. Most men are pathetic. Most men have got fluffy, disgusting looking bodies and weird bitch titties, and like I've got bitch titties too, but that's more of like a genetic condition and everything. Like I'm not even afraid to show them anymore. But most guys literally have this shit because they can't control their diets and because they don't exercise. And so when they see a guy who is doing that stuff, instant respect.